Hey everybody, it's me, Mike. Just doing a little bit of video, I guess, for the channel. Just thought I would let everybody know that I just got out of seeing Die Hard, the 35th anniversary of Die Hard. Hard to believe that it's been out for 35 years. So anyway, it's a classic by John McTiernan. If you haven't heard of it, then you've been living underneath a rock for the past 35 years, or maybe you're just brand new into the world. But anyway, yeah. So it's let's see, what's the synopsis of it? It's the film takes place in the 80s in California, where a cop from New York is on his way to see his wife that he hasn't seen in like 6 months. And I don't even know if they really talked all that much leading up to the 6 months either, besides, the phone call that she basically reached out to him about coming out to see her in California, to meet her at the Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza Center. So anyway, what happens is that basically this cop from New York goes out to meet his wife, and then while he's there, at the same time, coincidentally, a terrorist group shows up and then basically takes a hostage of everyone in the building. Because they have, they have motives of that they want to, perform a perfect heist. So it's like a terrorist movie / heist movie. And so anyway, generally speaking, the general consensus of this movie is that it is a well-renowned classic that has Bruce Willis in it, and Alan Rickman, and Bonnie Bedelia, I think that's her name. She plays Holly Gennaro, John's wife. And the funny thing about her is that this movie came out in 1988, and then in 1990, the highest grossing movie of all time at that time came out for the Christmas season, and that movie ended up becoming Home Alone, which was also another Fox product, just like Die Hard. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up and why it's relevant to Die Hard is because if you watch Die Hard, Holly, John's wife, is actually in real life, she is the aunt of two of the kids that were in Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. What was it? So Macaulay Culkin was, he was Kevin McAllister in the Home Alone, and the kid that always wets the bed, I can't, what the heck is it? Fuller. I'm sorry, Fuller. Fuller is also a Culkin as well. That's Kieran Culkin. So he was the younger brother of Macaulay. So anyway, it's funny to me when I think about it now, is that basically the classic, some of the classic Christmas movies that everybody watches every Christmas have something to do with the Culkin family. As Holly in real life is the real life aunt of Kieran and Macaulay Culkin. As in her brother was the one. In real, before she got married, she was a Culkin as well, and so her brother is the father of the Culkin clan, is what I'm saying. It's like her brother is I think I said her brother, not her father. If I said her father, that's wrong. Her brother. So anyway, it was interesting to watch a lot of this movie on the big screen. I mean, I know I saw it last year, but I mean, you pick up on things each time you see things, and so a lot of people, they still to this day, a lot of people, debate on whether or not this is a Christmas movie or not. I mean, to me, I think it's a Christmas movie. It takes place on Christmas. So, what really, defines a Christmas movie? What defines it if it doesn't take place on Christmas? So, if you have any suggestions, just let me know. You can comment below and let me know what you think, what constitutes as a Christmas movie. Because, Rocky IV, that's a Christmas movie, in my opinion. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Anyway, so, I had the same discussion with my dad. Earlier, he was saying that it wasn't a Christmas movie. And I was like, well, what makes this movie any less of a Christmas movie than, say, it's a Wonderful Life? Both take place on Christmas. It's a Wonderful Life, deals with, basically the suicide of somebody, and it has a real dark tone to it at the beginning, and it's all about, this man, basically finding out what, if he had never been born, about, how, important that he was in the grand scheme of things if he had never been born, if he had never been born, that how his town would have turned out to be, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I feel the same way about Die Hard. If he hadn't have gone and basically did that, and he basically found out at the end, that him and his wife were able to work things out, and that they genuinely realized at the end that that basically the petty things that they had been fighting with about leading up to the situation for the 6 months when he finally came out there, that in the grand scheme of things, that it didn't really matter. That, their marriage and their kids and everything were more important. And what I love about a good movie is, that they basically, I've always said this for a long time, that when the filmmakers basically tell you something or show you something during the film, and they are able to make every ounce of that film work along with the story, that everything in the film is important. That's just what I'm saying. And I don't know, I guess for the longest time I never really realized it, but when Ellis in one of the scenes of the movie, when they're talking about how the company basically how Nakatomi, that they really valued Holly and the work that she's done by basically going out and getting her a special Christmas present, and it ends up being the Rolex. And I never really realized, that basically that Rolex would end up becoming such a strong character part in the movie, where it led up to the part where that was where Hans was holding on to the watch, and that was the only thing that was keeping him from falling off the side of the building. And then then they were able to unsnap the watch, and then that was what propelled him down 40 stories or whatever to his death. So I know, it's pretty obvious, but when you see stuff on the big screen, you see things that you don't really realize before. For example, this movie I know is produced by Joel Silver. And the reason why that's kind of important is because, according to the movie, because one of the TV anchor ladies in here, I believe her name is Gail, and it's funny how all like a bunch of TV anchor people or whatever, and that play in movies, that their character names are often Gail, like Gale Weathers and Scream and stuff. But anyway, so the reason why I bring her up is because Joel Silver and Robert Zemeckis were real good friends in real life, or they are real good friends in real life, and they actually had they had a business partnership where they both helped produce like the HBO series Tales from the Crypt. Anyway, I don't know why I never realized it until now, but the girl that plays Gail in the movie in Die Hard, that was the TV anchor lady. In real life, she was actually Robert Zemeckis' wife, and she had big parts in a lot of his movies over the years, and I think she passed away like 10 years ago, something like that. But anyway, and she was also in also one of the best Christmas episodes ever of a TV show ever, and that was in Tales from the Crypt, and I believe it was like the first episode of Tales from the Crypt, like Silent Night or something. I think that's what it was called, where there was like the deranged like Santa Claus out and about, like trying to break into this lady's house who had murdered her husband, and she was trying to basically paint it off as as a suicide or something. And when in reality, like, this Santa Claus had just gotten out of basically escaped from a mental hospital and stole a Santa suit. But anyway, the point of the matter is that Robert Zemeckis directed that episode, and that was his real life wife, and Joel Silver and him were, they were business partners on that show. And so, and Joel Silver was, a producer on the original Die Hard movie. I think he was a producer in all of them. But anyway, so I know he was the one that basically was like the big proponent for from watching that Netflix series of movies that made us or something like that. That he was he was the main factor on the reason why the movie was called Die Hard. I believe he saw a battery or something like that, saw the name Die Hard, and he was like, "Oh my God, that needs to be a title of my movie." And so I believe that's how it came about. And so I just thought that was funny. I thought it was interesting, that she was in the movie. And let's see, I never really realized it, but also the guy that plays Walt in this movie, who's one of the construction workers that was told by the FBI agents to shut off the grid. That guy right there, he was I can't remember his name, but he passed away too, I think 10 or 15 years ago. And he was in, I believe this movie came out the same year The Burbs did, and he was in The Burbs, the guy with I can't remember his name, but I mean, you know who I'm talking about. He has a very distinctive voice. He's very funny. And so, and he was also in, I believe he was in Blank Check too, as the chauffeur guy. And so, anyway, I'm just rambling on about whatever. And anyway, I'm glad I got out, and I was feeling a little sad to, December's really rough month for me. Thursday will be, it'll be my wedding anniversary. It'll be the 5th one without my wife, since my wife passed away. And just been thinking about that. And so I've been it's kind of hard for me to get out and everything lately. So I've been wanting to see this movie, and at first I wanted to do like a double feature tonight. I was really thinking about trying to go see It's a Wonderful Life, which started at 7, and then I was going to see this one right after. But unfortunately, it just didn't line up well for me, and I almost missed this one too because, it's a little hard to, hard to get out sometimes for me. And so I procrastinated to the last second to get out. But anyway, Die Hard was great. It's definitely shelf worthy. When I was there, I saw that they still had some leftover posters from when they did the screening of The Abyss. So I picked up a poster for myself for that because unfortunately I didn't get it. I really wanted to see it in theaters when that came out like 2 weeks ago. But unfortunately, my uncle's girlfriend, when she came around for Thanksgiving, basically gave everyone the flu. So I ended up getting the flu from her. So I wasn't able to go out and see that movie because I got sick like the day before. So that really sucked. But I'm glad I got the poster, and I know it's so anyway. I know that comes out on 4K / Blu-ray and digital on. Actually, I think it already did. Yeah, I think on the poster it said December 12th, so that already came out. So you can pick that up now. So if you haven't got a chance to see any of those, it said that basically a bunch of James Cameron movies like True Lies, Abyss, Aliens, and what was the other one that came out? But anyway, so there were 4 of them. They basically all came out on 4K. New transfer recently on the December 12th, according to the back of the poster that I saw. It's a double-sided poster, and so I'm glad that I picked up that. Anyway, if I don't do another video up until then, I hope you all have a happy holiday. Comment below, let me know what you're doing for the holidays. Let me know in the comments below as well, what do you think constitutes as a classic movie? What makes it a classic to you? Because I had this discussion before on Twitter years ago. How do you know if a movie's a classic when it comes out? Is it basically right then? Is it 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road? What makes a movie a classic is what I'm asking. And I've always wondered about what makes a movie a classic in someone's opinion. To me, I think it's if there's a lot of quotable stuff in the movie, I'll be back and stuff like that. If there's a lot of quotable stuff that happens in the movie, I think you have a classic. If basically you walk out of the theater and there's nothing really quotable about it, then it's not a classic. That's just my opinion. Anyway, so subscribe. Die Hard is definitely shelf worthy. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite series. Up until you get the 5th one, and I even like the 2nd one. I know a lot of people don't like the 2nd one, but I love the 1st and 2nd and the 3rd, and even the 4th one. But in my opinion, it all as soon as you get to the 5th, no matter what, it seems like the 5th one is always a stinker. So anyway, that's all I got. Hope you all have a happy holidays, and let me know what you think about the movie, and let me know what you want me to review next or whatever, and we'll work on it. I know that there's a new movie called Night Swim that's coming out. That looks like it's a new Blumhouse movie that's coming out in January. It looks like it's probably going to be on the same kind of realms of like the Boogeyman, not the Boogeyman, the Bye Bye Man. I'm sorry, the Bye Bye Man that came out like a few years ago, where it was like a horror movie that came out in January that was absolutely pitiful and horrible, to the point where, you know, like it was just a running meme. And you know, like what the Red Letter Media guys say, you know, like anything that comes out in January basically is shit. So that's probably what that movie's going to be about. Like, nothing comes out in January usually unless it's shit. So this movie called Night Swim, I saw a preview for that on the other day. Like, it was like when we were watching football or something like that. It looks like absolute crap. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of plug right now. So anyway, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in the state of Maryland or Pennsylvania, I'd be glad to help you out. Just, you know, I'll leave my information in the description below, and you can just basically email me, and I would love to be able to help you out, like be able to put you in a house in the springtime, or, you know, be able to sell your place and help you get to Florida or something like that. Because, like, you know, in Maryland right now, it's 27 degrees right now. So I know a few people that want to basically move south. So if you want to do that, love to help you out. I look forward to talking to you all later. I just got home. So with all that, I really don't have anything more to say, I guess. Die Hard was a fun experience, as it always is. I saw it on the big screen last year for the first time, and I was like, who knows when the next time I'm going to be able to see it. And what do you know, they did it again this year. So anyway, I guess I should have expected for them to do that for the 35th anniversary, I guess. But I don't know. You never know with these older films. Like, I mean, The Abyss, for example, they're not going to re-show that. That was a one night only thing, and unfortunately, my fucking uncle's girlfriend got everybody fucking sick, and so I ended up getting sick. And I'm not going to be the kind of person that's going to be irresponsible and be a dick and then go out to a crowded theater and get everybody else sick. Because, my mom asked me, she was like, well, why don't you just go and wear a mask? And I was like, because I'm not an asshole. You know? Wearing a mask while you have the flu, going to a crowded theater, because I know it's crowded, because I saw when I picked out the seats that it was basically, you know, like there were only like a few seats left at that time, a few days beforehand, and I have the flu. It's not a good idea to go to a public place, even while wearing a mask, and get everybody fucking sick in the fucking place. Because I was like, you know, it's sort of like when you're in a room and basically like you fart. And it's silent. It dissipates throughout it diffuses throughout the whole room. And then everybody smells it, and it doesn't go away. So, it's the same thing with like an illness. You go out and you're sneezing, and even if you're wearing a mask and you're in a crowded area, it's still going to go out it's going to go out in the air, and everybody in the room is going to get sick. And so I'm not that kind of an asshole to do that to anybody. So I stayed home. I slept through it. I slept for days and drank a bunch of water and the whole 9 yards, and I was able to get over it in a few days, but it really did suck. So it sucked, and it sucked that they didn't really basically do The Abyss any favors, basically like what Die Hard did, where They played Die Hard for, like, I think the last 4 nights or something like that, or like at least the last 3. I know they're playing it again tomorrow before they release all the new movies on Thursday night. And I'm just saying it would have been a really nice treat if we had gotten maybe like at least 2 or 3 nights of The Abyss. It just really sucked that, they did it on a Wednesday night and on the 6th, and then, next thing you know, for the people that wanted to see it, the cinephiles that wanted to see it, because the tickets didn't even go on sale until like a week beforehand, or maybe like a few days beforehand. So it really was a terrible. It was terribly organized. It wasn't organized well, and we didn't. For the cinephiles that wanted to see it, that didn't get a chance to see it because we were too young when it was released, we missed out on a great opportunity. And I was really hoping to see it in theaters, and I know I'm going on and on and on about it, but I was really looking forward to it. And I guess I'll pick up the physical copy, and I'll watch it on my little screen, I guess. But it's not the same, because I did see it on the little screen, like 20 years ago for the first time, and I like seeing movies the way that they're intended, which is on the big screen. That is what I like. That is what I love. Because when you see them on the big screen compared to the little screen, I swear to God, you miss out on things. You don't pick up on things the same way you do when you watch them on the big screen. So anyway, with all that, I know I've said for about 10 minutes I'm going. I really am going this time. So have a good night, everybody. Maybe I can hopefully come up with a end catchphrase at the end of these things, but maybe not. Anyway, have a good night. Talk to you later. Out.